Well, so there's finally 1,000 Pokemon. Well, that's pretty cool. Except not all of them are going to be, well, memorable. I mean, I can't even remember who the mascot is. Actually, I think I remember. Oh wait, yeah, it's Ditto. Yeah, such an awesome Pokemon. Glad that's the mascot. Okay, yeah, jokes aside, yeah, 1,000 Pokemon aren't going to really make it easy to remember them. So I compiled a list of my top 5 most forgettable Pokemon. Now, before I start the video, I just want to say this is in no way an attack on anyone who likes these Pokemon. A few of my favorites are on this list. And honestly, this is not covering every forgettable Pokemon, as every generation has one or two ones that just kind of feel like they're there. So, without further ado, let's get into the list. Starting off at number 5, I have Kendra. Kendra is a water type introduced in Pokemon Gold and Silver. You can obtain this Pokemon by getting a Dragon Skill. And this is probably where the trouble starts, as to even get a Dragon Skill in this game, you gotta complete all 8 badges, and you need Waterfall, and Surf. So, honestly, it kinda doesn't make as much sense that anyone would really hold out on a Water type until this late in the game. And not to mention, these games already have a lot of Water types in them anyways, mainly due to the Kanto Pokedex also being combined with the Johto Dex in these games. And this is going to be a running theme for a few other entries on this list. But for me, Kendra has just really always been there. I've had one in my playthrough of Crystal, and honestly, any other Johto playthroughs I've done, I normally have Meryl or Feraligatr on my team, or Vaporeon. Just for so many other choices, to me it doesn't really make much sense to really go with the Kendra. Not mentioned, I kind of like Seadra a lot better, so that kind of just gives me even less of a reason to evolve it. Of course, we have another Johto Pokemon on this list, and that is, of course, Politote. I mean no hate towards Politote, but out of every Kanto evolution, Politote is probably the most forgettable out of all of them. I've never had one, and I don't really have the interest of training one up. In my opinion, I personally like Poliwrath a lot more. Now, Politoad's easier to get, as you only need like 4 badges to even get the King's Lock to evolve it in the Gen 2 games and the remakes. But again, with other water type Pokemon being in the Pokedex, it just kind of makes it hard to decide whether or not to even use this one. So, as always, Politote is a Pokemon that I normally just skip over, and even forget that it even exists half the time. Of course, next up we have one that hurts in another way, and that is, of course, the first mythical Pokemon of Generation 7, Vegeta. This one hurts because Vegeta was actually the first Gen 7 Pokemon that we were introduced to, and it's one of the most forgettable mythicals ever. As soon as it got announced, it kind of felt like everyone forgot about it. And then when Volcanion and the Mystical Marvel came out, it seemed like it made some people remember who Vegeta was, but then it just got forgotten all over again. And to be surprising, and as a little surprise, I even forgot that you could even get this one in the Gen 7 games just by scanning a QR code. For mythical, it's not really mythical, it just is more forgettable than anything else. It does seem pretty cool. Like, I like the design, and it has a signature move that's pretty cool. It's such a shame that it just was forgotten so fast. Even sucks more because at the time, Pokemon Z, and then the new Pokemon game, Sun and Moon, were hyped. So it seems like this Pokemon could have had a bit of a lifespan, but it just seemed like it just ran out as soon as it got revealed. Of course, next up on my list is, of course, Finian from the Gen 4 games and their remakes. Finian has the same issue with a few of the other Johto Pokemon, and that's because, well, in the games that got introduced in, there's already an abundance of water types. In Diamond Pearl alone, there's water types like Empoleon, Floatzel, Gastrodon, Azumarill, and Barboach, as well as Phoebus, Quagsire, and Pelipper, and the Platinum add-on decks introduces even more, making Finian kind of forgettable and not really worth catching. It's a fun Pokemon, but its downfall comes with the fact that there's so many other Pokemon that kind of do the job better than it. And a lot of these Pokemon have dual typings, or have dual typings now in Azumarill's case. So I just really can't find myself using this Pokemon as much. It's a fun Pokemon, which is a shame, but it's just kind of sucks that it was so forgettable, even in the generation that introduced it. And of course, for my final pick, we of course have Chinchou. Yeah, again, the same issue applies to Johto. Way too many water types. Chinchou seems like an interesting Pokemon, but having the entirety of the Kanto decks be in Gold and Silver and the remakes seems like a really bad idea in retrospect, as all these new Johto Pokemon, well, they're gonna have a lot of competition, as a lot of people probably would have wanted to use the originals. And even without them, like, again, there's better water types in Johto. You know, with Octillery, Azumarill, and Quagsire, as well as Feraligatr. And even with electric types, it just, I mean, you get Ampharos pretty early on, and with other electric types being in the games, it just kind of seems like Chinchou is just kind of an afterthought sometimes. But these were my top 5 forgettable Pokemon. I do have plans to do another part to this series, but these are just the 5 Pokemon that I could think of off the top of my head. But anyways, that's it, and I will of course be back next time with a new video. So stay safe everyone, and thank you for watching.